make no mistake about it, this is a very different team. Mike Lowell is hurting. We're not sure how much he's going to be able to play. Same thing can be said for veteran J.D. Drew, and Manny Ramirez is gone. So does that mean that Jason Bay has to be the most prominent Canadian in the playoffs for the Red Sox to repeat?
Without a doubt, because of the injuries, the spotlight is on Bay. And because Manny is no longer here with his offense, Bay is no slouch. He brings a very impressive resume to the table. You look at the speed. Manny is not a speedster. His defense is unmatched. And here he is sitting on a pitch. Halliday was behind in the count. When you get behind in the count with Bay, he's going to make you pay. And here's a guy that knows that these guys are going to throw him a lot of junk in the playoffs. He's hitting the ball great at the right time. And when it's all said and done, he's looking forward to this situation coming up in the playoffs.
Those numbers pale in comparison to Man Rams, but they're still pretty darn good. Jason Bay, for the third time in his career, is a 30 home run, 100 RBI man. We were having this conversation during the game yesterday, and I think we were unanimous in that if you had to pick a Blue Jays MVP for this season, it might be Marco Scutaro. And Rance, that's the good news and the bad news. The bad news in that you would expect some more prominent players to be in that position. The good news for Marco Scutaro is this is the best season he's had in the big leagues.
Yes, Marco Scutaro has been a jack of all trades this season for the Jays, but any role they have asked him to play, he has been very, very solid, playing all over the field. And he has been a very solid offensive player for him, a very good clutch hitter. Here he doubles with the bases loaded yesterday in the second inning of the ball game. He has just been tremendous all season long for the Jays. 51 starts at shortstop, 49 at second base, 41 at third base. He has been a real lift for this club.
Well, he and Joe Inglet will be back at the top of the order today. Both have more at-bats this season than they've ever had in the big leagues, and in Joe Inglet's case, anywhere in baseball. They'll be with the Blue Jays against the Boston Red Sox, and Daisuke Matsuzaka looking for his 18th win of the season. His opponent today is a 29-year-old Canadian from North Vancouver, Scott Richmond. 1,000 for the Boston Red Sox and the Toronto Blue Jays in their 18th and final meeting of the season, and the Blue Jays have a chance to win the season series against Boston for the second straight year. But the Red Sox have more to look forward to, obviously. They're headed for the playoffs. If they win today, they're in for sure. They could still win the division title, but they'd be in anyway. And failing that, if they lost today and the Yankees lost their final game at Yankee Stadium tonight, then the Red Sox would still clinch today. And the Blue Jays must play out the final week with the Yankees to come, and then a trip to Baltimore, and that's it. Out on the mound is 29-year-old right-hander Scott Richmond from North Vancouver. Let's have a look at the lineup that he'll face today. For for the Boston Red Sox, managed by Terry Francona. 90-64, headed to the playoffs for the 4th time in the last 5 years. We mentioned Mike Lowell and J.D. Drew aren't around, so Jason Bay becomes a very prominent player in the middle of that lineup.
Yes, he is. Like I said in the opening, reached the 100 RBI mark, 3rd time in his career yesterday.
And others become very prominent for the Red Sox too, in the absence of J.D. Drew and Mike Lowell. Jed Lowry playing today. Mark Kotsay, they'll need something from him in the playoffs. In all likelihood, he'll be in the outfield next to Jacoby Ellsbury. Jason Bay celebrated his 30th birthday yesterday with his 31st home run and his 100th RBI. Foul ball off the bat of Jacoby Ellsbury. He's on an 11-game hitting streak, hitting .371 over his last 8 games.
Ellsbury most certainly could be a huge factor in the playoffs if he could get hot at the right time with his speed, make a lot of things happen.
2 balls and 2 strikes from Scott Richmond, who's making his 4th career start, his 4th start of this season, looking for his first win. His battery mate today is Curtis Thigpen. For the 2nd straight day, he's the Blue Jays catcher as the count goes full on Ellsbury.
That speed at the top of the lineup, if it can get aboard, takes a little bit of pressure off the offense, because you can score a run without a base hit. You let him steal second, move him over to third, and then bring him in with a sac fly, ground out.
3-2 pitch is taken into right center. Might be extra bases for this speedster. That's right to the wall. He could go for 3. Ellsbury has a glance, turns around second, on his way to third with a stand-up triple to lead off the game. Yesterday, the Blue Jays kept him off the base paths after a 1st inning single. Today, a leadoff triple.
And what happened there, Richmond tried to throw 2 breaking balls in a row and missed. So you know that he was looking fastball. And he got it, and Ellsbury just turned on it, hit it to the gap. He had a triple all the way. Look how short he cut those corners. That is textbook.
So now he's 90 feet away for Dustin Pedroia, the American League's 2nd leading hitter. 324 average. Joe Mauer, Minnesota, leads the league. Pedroia right behind him. And a ball and a strike from Richmond to Pedroia. He had a pretty quiet day yesterday too, and a double and a run scored for him was pretty quiet. 1 for 3 with a walk. Blue Jays did a good job against the top of the order. Hits the ball hard on the line. Travis Snider makes the catch and the throw as Ellsbury tags and scores easily from third base. Snider fell down trying to get him, but it was a wing and a prayer to get Ellsbury on that line drive to left. Here's how the Blue Jays shape up defensively today. The keystone of Scudero and England again, because there's a right-hander on the mound. England's only made 5 errors. Scudero just 7, and they both played over 100 games now.
And there's Vernon Well in this familiar position in center field. He gets a smooth jump, just as quick as anybody. He is smooth as butter in center field.
Made a terrific over-the-shoulder basket catch yesterday in support of Doc Halladay. There's David Ortiz with the Red Sox up 1-0 already.
Snider made a fine play on that ball, was hit to him in left field off the bat of Pedroia as a sinking line drive.
He sure did.
Got an excellent jump.
Blue Jays have done a great job in the season series against David Ortiz. That's the big reason why they lead it. In fact, Ortiz has hit just 175 against the Blue Jays in 17 games, and he's popped up here. Big Poppy indeed. Two away for Scott Richmond.
Scott Richmond with a fastball that will touch 92. He will four-seam and two-seam his fastball. Curve, slider, and change. He must pitch to both sides of the plate to be effective, and his slider is his go-to pitch.
He's got 2 out, and here's Kevin Youkilis playing at third base today. Oftentimes with Mike Lowell not in the lineup, he'll start at third base. That was his position when he came up to the big leagues. And late in the game defensively, he'll move over to first. Ball and a strike from Richmond, who's started against Cleveland, Oakland, and Tampa Bay. All losses by the Blue Jays. His record is 0-2. And his longest outing is 5 2/3. Here's his 2-1 pitch. And now it's 2-2 on Youkilis.
And for the first time has been able to throw his slider for a strike this afternoon. That pitch was well set up by the previous one. The fastball well in on the hands.
Here's Richmond's 2-2 pitch. And another full count.
Well, I just had a feeling when he missed twice with breaking balls to Jacoby Ellsbury. If he throws that fastball anywhere in the zone, he's going to be all over it. Let's see right here.
Fouled it off.
He opted to go with the slider.
Jays have pitched Youkilis well this year too. 214 average.
They've thrown him a steady diet of off-speed pitches.
Pedroia's hit under 200 against this pitching staff. The reason they've played the Red Sox so well. And the battle continues here between Scott Richmond and Kevin Youkilis.
Umpire dusting off home plate. Kind of giving Yuka a little extra time.
Tim Timmons working behind home plate today. Red Sox with a 1-0 lead. And here's the 3-2 from Scott Richmond. And another foul ball, and this pretty good battle here continues.
He almost fouled another ball up his foot.
Richmond going with a slider again.
One of the problems, Yuka is so deep in the batter's box. He catches that ball so far out front, he's going to hit himself in the leg.
And he lost him. There's a 2-out walk. So Youkilis is aboard. The Red Sox have a 1-0 lead, and now it's an all-Canadian matchup as Scott Richmond from North Vancouver faces Jason Bay from Trail.
And Jason with a pretty darn good day yesterday. 2 for 3 with a big homer. 2 RBIs with a base on ball. Also scored a run.
And for the third time in his career got to 30 and 100. That's got a nice ring to it.
Drove himself in.
And if there's one thing that Scott Richmond can't do today is pitch behind in the count. He's not overpowering, so he must stay ahead consistently, and then when he gets ahead, he has to be able to finish the hitters off, not run that count back to 3-2.
Bay's had a pretty good clip going here in his last 5 games. He's got 8 hits, a .444 average. Curtis Thigpen wants to talk things over with Scott Richmond. There's the crew working this game today. Jim Reynolds out at third base after a controversial couple of days at first and behind home plate. Everybody was steamed at him yesterday. Bay hits the ball high in the air to right. And North Vancouver beats Trail this time. Red Sox get a run. A leadoff triple is cashed by Dustin Pedroia's sacrifice fly. Blue Jays are coming up next. Ellsbury scored the game's first run in the top of the first inning, and they hand the lead to their 28-year-old right-hander Daisuke Matsuzaka. 17-2 on the season and 32 wins in his first 2 seasons so far in the big leagues. Here's a look at the Rogers lineup for the Blue Jays, managed by Cito Gaston, who has this team 15 wins over 500 since he took over. Alex Rios, top RBI man at 78. Vernon Wells leads in home runs with 17. 2 rookies at the bottom of the batting order in Travis Snyder and Curtis Thigpen.
And Scott Rowland is finishing his season off in style. Last 13 games, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, and of his 100 hits this year, 42 of them have gone for extra bases.
So the very deliberate Daisuke Matsuzaka goes up against Joe Inglet, who's back at the top of the order, as he usually is for Cito Gaston against right-handed pitchers. Inglet's on a 7-game hitting streak. Kept his average over 300. He's at 328 for his last 33 games. He's popped the ball up, and it carries away from Kevin Youkilis into the seats. Daisuke Matsuzaka has been the recipient of some great run support this season. His ERA is stingy enough. Really like his last start in Tampa Bay. The Rays were beaten by the Red Sox 13-5, so he had a lot to work with.
Yes, and his amazing is even more remarkable when you consider the fact that 9-10 occasions this year he has not pitched beyond the 5th inning. So when he's left the game, he's left with the lead, and the bullpen's been able to hold it.
That is impressive.
Here's his 1-1 pitch to Inglet. Showed bunt.
Rance, when you face a guy this deliberate, takes his time as Matsuzaka does that throw you off?
No, it never bothered. It never bothered me. Did it bother you?
No. Did you change your routine up a little bit?
No.
Some guys it bothered. You're sitting there waiting for him. You get in the box, and he's not ready. Something going on in the dugout.
They're not happy about the call of the attempted bunt by Joe Inglet. I think that the dugout thought he had pulled his bat back, but it looked to me like he fouled it off.
The Blue Jays and this crew of umpires have been at each other all weekend.
I definitely don't know where the last pitch was at. Joe Inglet started to walk.
And right in the middle of it again is Jim Reynolds,
who's within earshot of the Blue Jays dugout today at third base. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Matsuzaka to Inglet, who hits the ball just where Ellsbury did, but it's going to hang up long enough for the young center fielder to go over and make the catch, and Inglet is out for the first time. There's one away. Here's how the Red Sox shape up defensively today. You have to make adjustments almost every day because of injuries, so Mark Kotze is in at right, and Ellsbury moves to center today. As we mentioned, Youkilis playing at third base to start the game, and Sean Casey in at first.
And Jed Lowry playing shortstop this afternoon, played third base yesterday. And if Mike Lowell is not able to go in the postseason, he's probably going to have the same opportunity. He's going to have to play some short, play some third. So he could be a very important player in the postseason for the Red Sox.
Defensively, he's excellent. He's no Mike Lowell with the bat right now.
No, he isn't. There's not too many guys around that are. Mike Lowell, a very, very good run producer, clutch hitter.
If they can't get Lowell back, they're going to have some problems in the playoffs. A tremendous run producer.
He has a hip injury. They're hoping to get him some at-bats this week and prepare him for the playoffs. A 1-1 pitch to Marco Scutaro. Who's got a lot of time to get ready because Matsuzaka will go to the back of the mound. He's very deliberate. He's predictable. you might say interminably slow. What is the guideline, the major league rule for the time it's supposed to take between pitches? It's supposed to be about a dozen seconds.
I was thinking around 15, but I didn't know for sure.
You don't see it enforced that often, that's for sure.
Never against Matsuzaka, who takes his time, and sometimes he's 30 seconds before he pitches the ball again. And he throws a lot of pitches because he's always nibbling in the outsides of the plate.
It's funny that you would mention nibbling. Daisuke goes to the mound this afternoon with a fastball in the low 90s, a slurve. You just saw that. Split and change only on occasion, and he is 3-2 and never gives in. That's one of the reasons why he throws a lot of pitches in the first 5-6 innings of a game.
That was almost 30 seconds between pitches right there. And that's just the way he works all the time. And the count is 2-2 on Marco Scutaro.
He used to call guys like this the human rain delay. The defense, they're on their heels.
But you can't argue with the 17 wins. Gets a strikeout there, and he's got 2 away here in the first inning.
That was a two-seamer that ran back. Got the call.
And don't you think that's typical Daisuke? Around the plate, never across the middle of it.
He doesn't really give in. Like Grant said, he stays on the corners. Very seldom does he throw a ball in the middle of the plate, and that's why he has success.
He hasn't had much against Alex Rios, a .293 hitter who is 6 for 17, .353 against Daisuke. Swing and a miss. It's a ball and a strike. Rios had a couple of hits, drove in 2 runs in yesterday's game, a 6-3 victory for the Blue Jays over the Red Sox. So this weekend series is even at a win apiece. Tried to check his swing, but he went around. It's a ball and 2.
Alex clearly looking middle in those first 2 pitches.
If he's going to get one in right here, it'd be the one. After a couple of hard slurves, bust him on the hands.
Two balls, 2 strikes. And that's okay. A lot of hitters will take that approach to home plate. They'll look middle in until 2 strikes, and they'll stay close and try to drive the ball the other way.
Inside pitch is fouled back.
And the pitcher knows that, and they try to tie you up inside.
Sometimes, though, don't you think, Jesse, it's important to go to the plate, look for the ball. If they're pitching you away, look for the ball on the outer third, trust that the pitcher's going to get it to his spot, and then try to take it back up the middle and the other way, so that you don't let yourself fall into that habit of constantly looking middle in and missing a ball away that you might be able to drive.
Well, I hit that way. I look for the ball away most of the time and trusted my hands on the inside. A lot of hitters did it the opposite way. I couldn't hit looking for the ball inside too often. Every now and then when a guy was trying to pound me inside, you know, I would try to pull one foul or hit one in a dugout and get him out of there.
And if Daisuke stays with his pattern, this very well could be 3-2 breaking ball.
Another 3-2 pitch hit hard by Rios to left. A line shot to Jason Bay. Another 3-2 count. Daisuke wins the battle as he did against all of the Jays in the first inning. 3 up and 3 down to the second inning, with the Red Sox ahead 1-0. Think really hard. I'm sure Terry Francona already has about how he's going to set up his rotation, but they still need to clinch. They can clinch a playoff berth today. Tampa still has a magic number of 7 to clinch the East, but they are in the playoffs. White Sox and Twins still battling, and the Angels have been in for a month.
I talked to Jerry Remy, and he said their rotation's already set. And we were thinking that the playoffs started Tuesday and then Wednesday. They actually start Wednesday and Thursday. So Beckett goes tomorrow, which means he could go on Friday, and then Wednesday would be his 5th day. So they really can play it out the way that they want to. They don't have to make any type of adjustment.
And that's great for them, because if they need him, if they can still win the American League East, they can have him for Friday in their final series against the Yankees, and then have him set up perfectly to start the playoffs. If they're on the road in California, you know that's the way they'll want to start, so that Beckett can be there for a 5th game as well.
That's right.
Scott Richmond to Mark Kotsay, the leadoff hitter here in the 2nd inning.
Here's another guy heating up right on time. It's amazing the good ones find a way to get it right when they need it.
2-1 pitch from Richmond, and a fly ball to left for Travis Snyder. 1 gone.
It's a good changeup from Scott Richmond, and he had Mark Kotsay a little out in front.
Scott Richmond, a year removed from pitching in the Independent Northern League with the Edmonton Cracker Cats. In fact, he spent 3 years with them, and that's where he was scouted by Rob Ducey. Last summer, he was 10-9 in 23 starts in the Independent League. So this summer, he pitched professionally in the Blue Jays system as he gets his count 1-1 to Jed Lowry. 5-8 in 16 starts at Double-A, and 1-3 in 8 starts at Triple-A.
What's a Cracker Cat?
It's a ball team in Edmonton.
I'm not sure what that. I've never heard of that before. That's a new one.
A Cracker Cat.
Think about it for a minute, Jess.
I've heard of Cracker Jacks. Now that was a nasty breaking ball.
So Lowry has really struggled with the bat and hit .209 in his last 20 games as the first strikeout victim for Scott Richmond.
First pitch is a changeup down, and a challenge fastball. Another challenge fastball, and then as Jesse said, the best slider he's thrown today. A very good one in a very good spot. And Lowry looks to me like from the left side, he's going to have to shorten up that swing, Jesse.
It is long. It's very long.
First baseman today is Sean Casey, left-handed hitter against Richmond.
And from the left side, Lowry's drifting with his body, and that's going to slow his swing down a lot. Batting coach Dave Magadan is very astute. He's very good at picking up little flaws and cleaning up mechanical issues. He'll fix it.
Richmond's fallen behind 2-0. That's ripped down the line, foul. Souvenir for a Blue Man wannabe.
Kind of a purple. They need to change that shade of blue there.
Here's Scott Richmond's 2-1 pitch, fouled off, 2-2.
This guy at the plate's been a very good hitter throughout his career.
He has. He doesn't have your prototypical swing, that's for sure. Kind of goes around the ball. He must have great hand-eye coordination.
He gets great extension.
He does. I I tell you, you leave one up in the zone, he'll crush you.
He too becomes a pretty important player if Lowell can't go in the playoffs and Youkilis has to move over to third base. Two pitches up and in. Another full count. 2 away, second inning. The Red Sox leading 1-0. Here's Mike Lowell. Three-two pitch is hit in the air to right and a shoestring catch by Alex Rios. Alex Rios, not unlike Vernon Wells in that he get a good jump and he can cover a lot of territory in a hurry. He makes a terrific catch here for the third out of the second inning. Wells, Lind, and Overbay due up next for the Blue Jays. Bottom of the second inning, they trail 1-0.
Create your own baseball collectible using your own photos. It's easy. Simply upload your photo, choose a product and design, and place your order. Choose from a wide variety of official MLB photo gift products from every Major League Baseball team. Prints, mugs, magnets, mouse pads, clocks, coasters, and more. Create a collectible you will cherish for years to come. Go to the photo store on MLB.com. In 3 easy steps, you can make your very own MLB memory. Go to the photo store on MLB.com today.
How do you want to see the game? You want to be closer? Well, this is no ordinary ticket. This is your ticket to baseball heaven in high definition. Sharp Aqua's the official HD TV of Major League Baseball. And with a...
Don't miss the premieres of Dragon's Den and The Border on CBC. That's September 29th. I'm ahead of myself. A week ahead of myself. I was thinking it's fall already.
It is officially tomorrow.
It feels like it today.
It sure does. We have our jackets on.
Vernon Wells leading off against Daisuke Matsuzaka. Went through the Blue Jays' first 3 hitters in order in the first inning. Cito Gaston spent some time between innings with the home plate umpire Tim Timmons, and we were wondering if he was talking to him about the pace at which Daisuke pitches. It's possible that he was asking him to speed him up.
Well, it is a rule.
And if you're going to have the rule, it should be enforced.
Ball and a strike to Vernon Wells.
And if that's the case, it could be nothing more than a little gamesmanship by Cito Gaston. If Daisuke is more comfortable working at about every 25 or 30 seconds before he throws a pitch, you make him speed up and use the allotted time by rule. It might throw him out of his rhythm a little bit.
This is a typical at bat. There's Cito Gaston with the home plate umpire Tim Timmons between innings. Two-two pitch. Hit in the air to right center field, and that's going to come down and might scoot to the wall. Cut off by Ellsbury, and he gets the ball in a hurry, and Wells has to slide to get his double.
Daisuke brings back a two-seam fastball up and out over the plate. Vernon stays close, driving it hard to right center field. And here he busted tail from the get-go, going hard from home plate. Ellsbury doing a great job cutting that ball off, making it a very close play.
Closer than it looked like it was going to be.
Well, that was a hustle, great hustle play from Vernon and Ellsbury.
So Adam Lind is up, cooled off a little bit, 2 for his last 15, but he's got a runner in scoring position as the Blue Jays try to tie this up. Average has dropped down to 290. He was right around 300 for quite some time against both lefties and righties.
And if you're trying to pull the ball in this situation, sometimes a young hitter will try to do it with his body or by swinging hard. Do it with your hands. Just think, I'm going to get it, pull the ball with my hands. You see how the swing's a little long there?
Yeah. Front side flew open. And that slows you down.
Yes, just shorten up. Think about hitting the ball with your hands, and it makes it a much shorter, quicker swing.
That's a great call because it does slow you down when you fly open.
Daisuke looks back at Vernon Wells, delivers outside for a ball and 2 strikes.
Another thing you can do as a lefty is get as close as possible to home plate and get as deep as possible in that box. Now throw that ball in the outside corner. I dare you. You bring it closer to you, the outside corner, that is.
Pulled on the ground, knocked down by Pedroia. He's only got 1 play. Wells is to third. Lind moves up the runner with 1 out. So now trailing 1-0. A chance for Lyle Overbay to deliver a run after Adam Lind moved him over from second base.
It's a nice job by Adam Lind. Finally got a pitch that he could pull. He shortened up a little bit on the slider, hit it hard. Nice play by Pedroia. And now it's up to Lyle Overbay to do his job and get that run in from third base.
The sacrifice fly had do it, but he's had the big flies a couple of times off Daisuke. He's hit 2 homers off him.
And that's what you call a quality at bat. The little things that don't show up in the box score, getting guys over, makes it so much easier to win ball games.
Daisuke's 0-1 pitch is outside. Ball and a strike. Daisuke has 156 innings pitched. Gene Tennis congratulates Adam Lind. 156 innings pitched, 90 walks, and 143 strikeouts. That means there's been lots of long, no contact at bats.
Very good changeup. Some good late movement. And now if you're a Daisuke, you have a lot of options.
Here's his 1-2 pitch. Misses away, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Rance, what are you looking to do right here as a left-hand hitter?
Just stay out over the plate a little bit. Try to take the ball, think left center, so that you can put the off-speed stuff in play.
Boy, Veritek really snatched that glove trying to get that call. Moved it about 5 inches. Umpire didn't bite.
And if you're Lyle Overbay, don't let that fastball in speed you up. Stay out over the plate now, because they might come back with something off speed with a right-hander on deck. You set up a double play if he happens to walk him.
3-2 fastball with some movement on it, fouled off by Overbay.
You know, Jesse, when you're seeing the ball good, if you're trying to stay back just that little bit extra, if they throw the breaking ball for a strike, that will at least allow you to put the ball in play most of the time, and that's what you need to do here.
Yeah. And with a shorter swing, which is the swing you want to have. You were able to foul that ball back like Overbay just did. A long swing. He struck him out. That's a great at bat.
Overbay takes a walk. Runners at first and third with one out. So red hot Scott Rowland, having his best streak of the season at the plate, comes up. Look at that average over the last dozen games. So he's a good bet here to deliver a run.
No doubt the shoulder's feeling better. The swing is much shorter and quicker, better bat speed. And a good low ball hitter. The ball at the belt down. He's really been hitting hard consistently.
Fastball away. Ball one. His home run yesterday was a bit of a line drive shot.
Boy, that was a laser.
That gave the Blue Jays some insurance at 6-3 in the 8th inning. Daisuke's 1-0 pitch.
Getting his stroke back at the end of the season. Doesn't it usually work that way? Something to build on for next year, that's for sure.
See Curtis Wilkerson there talking to, not Wilkerson, but Thigpen, excuse me, talking with Cito Gaston, probably getting an idea of what to look for.
One of those Curtises.
Yeah, that seat
right soon enough.
That spot next to Cito seems to be reserved for whoever's up next right now. And the young players, Thigpen, Snyder, and Adam Lind, have been using it regularly.
Let me tell you, these young guys respect and admire Cito's tutelage. They really do. They see the value in it.
2-1 pitch popped up and out of play. The sun's just come out. Now it's tough for Casey to pick up that ball, but he had no play.
And now he's going to get some glasses.
He didn't need them a few minutes ago. And now it's a tough sun field. Matsuzaka watches as he gets his glasses fixed here and gets ready to go. The count's 2-2 on Scott Rowland. Vernon Wells at third base. Lyle Overbay at first, and the Blue Jays threatening in their half of the second inning, down 1-0. Two pitch, and he struck him out. Two strikeouts for Matsuzaka and two away.
Missed with the first fastball and the second one, then went to the breaking ball twice. Again, that one Rowland had a pretty good swing at it and then busting with a fastball and got it above the belt.
Here's rookie Travis Snyder up after Rowland made the second out. First pitch is away, ball one. Snyder's been very impressive at the plate, in the field.
Yes, he has.
One ball and one strike. Vernon Wells started things off with a double. He's at third and no further. Lyle Overbay at first. And a 1-1 pitch. Matsuzaka's got his full arsenal today.
And still not giving in.
Pretty good movement on the fastball and real tight breaking ball.
oftentimes with Daisuke, there's two ways to go. You can look for the slider, the hard breaking ball, or look for a fastball. Most of the time during the course of an at bat, you're going to get one or the other to hit.
Lost the fastball up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Daisuke, 28 years old. His last start was a 13-5 win in Tampa. Another 5-inning victory. So you mentioned those 5-inning victories. He has 5 of them.
Well, I hope he takes his bullpen out for dinner and pays for it.
Got 3 strikeouts. The Blue Jays stranded a pair and wasted a leadoff double. Vernon Wells and Lyle Overbay left aboard. Still 1-0 Sox. Hit a triple to Jacoby Ellsbury to start the game. There he is auditioning for a job for next season, and lately it seems there are a few openings. It is believed that A.J. Burnett will exercise his right to free agency, although the Blue Jays will try to keep him. They may not be able to. And now with the injury to Sean Markin, he's out all of next season. Dustin McGowan probably can't start the season till May. Right now, Scott Richmond is in the top 5 on their depth chart. So you wonder what the Blue Jays will do. I don't think they can risk going into next season with 2, 3 rookies, a couple of rookies, and a young, unpredictable pitchers. They need some experience.
Yeah,
especially if they lose Burnett.
I think they do. It doesn't make sense with the money that they've invested in the center fielder, the right fielder, Roland, Overbay, to win, which is the ultimate goal.
Nice start for Richmond here in the 3rd inning.
To start the season next year with 3 starters that are unproven and a roll of the dice in a sense. Good fastball on the corner.
A favorable call from the umpire, and Veritek is gone, 1 away in the 3rd. I would agree with you that this is not a time to be revamping your pitching staff with young kids if you expect to be a contender.
Out in the American League East.
So what they'll have to do, there are some decent free agents out there that they could spend on and use some of the money that they'll probably have from A.J. Burnett to maybe get some of the middle of the road guys, or they'll have to make a trade.
You would think with this bullpen, there's some middle of the road guys that can help you.
Hit in the air to center. Vernon Wells knocked it down, can't make the catch, and look at Ellsbury go. He puts on the brakes around second and hustles back in. It's always a surprise when Vernon Wells doesn't get to the ball. He got there and got a glove on it, but going full speed couldn't make the catch.
reason why Vernon didn't get it, Ellsbury had a tremendous swing. He got down through that ball. It got backspin on it, and the ball took off. Not to make an excuse, that ball was hit hard. Vernon going all out, did everything he could to get to it, and just hit right off the heel of his glove. It got off his thumb a little.
So Ellsbury's got a triple. Now he's got a double and is in scoring position for Dustin Pedroia, who hit a sacrifice in the first to get Ellsbury home. This time he hits the ball on the ground. Rolen knocks it down, turns and throws, and he gets Pedroia with a terrific play as Ellsbury advances to third base. Both Rolen and Scutaro look shaken up.
Well, Scott Rolen makes the play, and it is a great one. We've seen him do this all year long, and you can see in the background Scutaro was diving, laying out, trying to keep it in the infield and prevent Ellsbury from scoring.
Pedroia hustles down there pretty good, so Rolen had to make that happen in a hurry, and he did. Now the big poppy shift is on as the Blue Jays infield shifts around to the right side, figuring he'll pull the ball here with 2 out and a runner on third base. So Joe Inglet is out in shallow right field.
David told me before the game today that he's going to just let that wrist heal up naturally. He's not going to opt for surgery. He has a split tendon on his left hand. It's his top hand. It's not his lead arm. I was actually thinking it was his right arm, but it's his left hand, which is not as bad because it's your top hand, which is not your pull through. You better know that Boston's going to be monitoring that, because if it doesn't heal up, they'll have time to go ahead and suture that thing up and get him ready for spring training. He'll come back strong for next year.
Well, Richmond just busted him inside time and time again here. Now it's 3-1.
With both the fastball and the slider. And a good call right here might possibly be throw the slider, try to throw the slider, get it down and in a pretty good spot. Maybe you can get a ground ball to that right side where you have your defense set up.
Throws a strike, so he's got the count full with 2 out and a runner on third base.
Good changeup.
Sure was. What are the chances of this being a 3-2 changeup here?
Or a slider. I don't think it'll be a fastball.
Fly ball to left field, carrying back and gone.
He is a smart hitter.
Home run for David Ortiz, opposite field, and the Red Sox jump ahead 3-0.
He sat all over that. Wow.
For David Ortiz, his 22nd home run of the season, up to 87 RBIs.
He sat back and waited for the last moment, till the last moment, and flicked it out of the ballpark the other way. That's a strong man. All that was timing and rhythm. Sit back, let it get to you, and drive it the other way. That's why they call him Big Papa.
2 out, 2-run home run. So the Red Sox are out front 3-0, and Richmond is ahead 0-2 to Kevin Youkilis. Hasn't had too much reason to smile against the Blue Jays the last few days. In fact, all of this season they've handled him pretty well. But he does have a triple against them. And here a 2-run home run. Youkilis strikes out, but the damage is already done in this inning with 2 outs. After the double by Ellsbury, he was moved along to third base. And on a 3-2 pitch, David Ortiz goes the other way out of the park. Red Sox 3, Blue Jays nothing.
Create your own baseball collectible using your own photos. It's easy. Simply upload your photo, choose a product and design, and place your order. Choose from a wide variety of official MLB photo gift products from every Major League Baseball team. Prints, mugs, magnets, mouse pads, clocks, coasters, and more. Create a collectible you will cherish for years to come. Go to the photo store on MLB.com. In 3 easy steps, you can make your very own MLB memory. Go to the photo store on MLB.com today.
How do you want to see the game? You want to be closer? Well, this is no ordinary ticket. This is your ticket to baseball heaven in high definition. Sharp Aqua's the official HD TV of Major League Baseball. And with a blazing 4-millisecond response time and a super fast refresh rate, there isn't a shot in the hole or a streamer down the line that will singe the hair in your nostrils. It will change your baseball-loving life.
Aqua's LCD TV. Change your TV, change your life.
You could have Doc Halladay, Scott Richmond, Jesse Litch, David Percy, and who knows who else in the rotation. But there are some free agents. There's some of the class of 2009. Curtis Thigpen leading off against Daisuke Matsuzaka. Fouls off the first pitch. Some pretty interesting names on there. Now, it's unlikely the Blue Jays are going to get into a bidding war for somebody like CC Sabathia, who's probably going to make $20 million. But maybe a guy like Ryan Dempster makes $7.5 million this year, is having a good season. Derek Lowe, you might be able to get 2 for the price it would take to have AJ Burnett or CC Sabathia.
And for me, John Garland is a very interesting character on that list.
It just, I think they have to take a hard look at those free agents, because it doesn't make sense with the investment they've made to win and win now. And most certainly they expect going in next year to compete, have a chance to win the division, get in postseason play, and then at the same time run 3 starters out there that you're going to be patient with and allow them to develop.
Thigpen hits the ball in the air behind second. Pedroia is called off. Kotsay makes the catch. 1 away.
When you're trying to win and win now, you don't have time to allow players, pitchers, to develop.
That's right.
You can't suffer those losses, giving them the chance to figure some things out.
You look at another name, Oliver Perez. Those guys aren't going to cost you an arm and a leg.
He's looking for pitching even now. So much has changed, but there are other areas of strength where if the Blue Jays wanted to, they could make some trades, as Joe Inglet comes up for the second time, 0 for 1 today. The development of Adam Lind, the early prominence of Travis Snyder, ground ball, Matsuzaka, 2 away. And the Blue Jays with Jeremy Accardo returning to health, Casey Jansen will have some depth in the bullpen. But you don't get a quality pitcher unless you give up quality in return. So they might have to make some sort of blockbuster.
This is very true. Put something together, you never know. There's some guys out there.
But it can be done. If you look at the team from '92 that won the World Championship, and then look at the team in '93, I think there was 13 or 14 different players on that team. I mean, so there was a lot of turnover, but they still had great quality players.
Right.
In the course of all that turnover, they acquired outstanding players.
2 out for Marco Scutaro. But certainly the focus has changed. Whereas you might have been looking at, geez, we need a big left-handed bat in the middle of the order, and I'm not so sure that that's as important right now as making sure they shore up their starting pitching staff.
It's like it took a Tony Fernandez, guys like that, to get Alomar and Carter. McGriff, that is. Fernandez and McGriff to get Alomar and Carter from San Diego. And look what they brought.
One ball, one strike. Marco Scutaro. Career high, almost 500 at bats now for Marco Scutaro. Career high in RBIs.
Just a tremendous asset for the Blue Jays.
We're all about seizing the opportunity. 1-2 pitches fouled away. Blue Jays bullpen has been very prominent all season long. They have a chance to finish this season with an earned run average under 3 runs per game. And you could add, as we mentioned, a couple of arms to that. Casey Jansen could be involved there. Another strikeout for Matsuzaka, his 4th of the game, in another 1-2-3 inning. He's given up 1 hit through 3 and has yet to give up a run. Daisuke and the Red Sox have a 3-0 lead over the Blue Jays to the 4th inning on CBC.
Are you an adrenaline junkie? At Grind TV on Yahoo Sports, you can submit your own videos or watch the pros in action. Check out the most outrageous, untamed, and awe-inspiring sports videos on the web, surfing, skateboarding, motocross, and so much more. For the sickest action sports videos, check out Grind TV on Yahoo Sports.
Night presentation, Canada's Hockey Anthem Challenge Special spotlights the contenders for Hockey Night in Canada's new theme song. It's at 9 o'clock local on the full network and at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific at cbcsports.ca. A couple of guys who probably watched a little Hockey Night in Canada about to face each other here again. Jason Bay and Scott Richmond for the second time. Richmond won the first battle. He got Bay to hit a fly ball to right.
Talking to Bay before the game about going into playoffs for the first time this year, and he was so excited. Said he'll have extra adrenaline. He'll find an extra gear. You know, I was sharing with him, and Dustin Pedroia was a part of the conversation, how last part of the season, how you're a little tired, but once you get to the playoffs, you don't feel it.
High fly ball left center. This time Wells camps underneath it and makes the catch, one away.
You don't feel that late season fatigue. The spotlight's on you, and you're out there, you're trying so hard to get to that next level. You find a way to get it done.
Well, the Red Sox have lots of confidence that Jason Bay will have a very good playoff. There'll be some prominent Canadians in baseball's playoffs.
Yes, there will.
You got Jason Bay, you got Rich Harden and Ryan Dempster both pitching for the Cubs. Maybe Matt Stairs with the Phillies.
Yep.
Justin Morneau with the Twins still got a chance.
Stairs, he hit a big home run the other day.
He hasn't been getting an awful lot of at-bats, but he's made the most of the ones he's got. That's his job now. Left-handed hitting Mark Kotsay up for the second time against Scott Richmond. 29 years old. It took him a while to live the dream and get to the big leagues, and for a while that dream was probably on hold. He didn't pitch at high school, nor the 3 years right after high school. He worked in the shipyards in Vancouver. And then he just got the itch. He wanted to play, and he went looking for leagues. He ended up playing in a league out in Medicine Hat, summer leagues all over the place.
And here he is.
3 straight seasons in the Independent Northern League, and there's a base hit for Kotsay.
That's why you never give up on your dreams.
Just out of the reach of Marco Scutaro.
Kotsay doing a good job staying on a tailing fastball away, driving it hard up the middle.
And here's Jed Lowry, who struck out in the second. The fill-in right now for Mike Lowell. I wonder if the playoffs start and Lowry still struggling at the plate, if Terry Francona would go to some guys who have a little more experience, like Alex Cora, to play in the middle of the infield. It's very apparent that they like Jed Lowry.
There's no doubt that they do, but Cora right now is a much more polished player. He handles the bat well. You can hit and run with him, do those types of things, and very solid defensively is Cora.
You got to believe if they get in a pinch, they're going to go to Cora in a heartbeat. Francona's not afraid to make some changes when he has to.
All the wheels will be turning if Mike Lowell can't play, but there's still hope that his hip will be all right. He'll be able to get through the playoffs. They'll miss J.D. Drew too. You know, when David Ortiz was out of the lineup, part of the reason that the Red Sox didn't sink is that Drew just really picked up his game for about a month. Was red hot. And he hasn't played for so long now that even if his back got better, you never know what you'd get out of it.
It's almost impossible now. Your timing and rhythm is off. And to face playoff caliber pitching at this point, you're going to be so overmatched. You have no chance.
There's 19 home runs and 64 RBIs out of the lineup with J.D. Drew.
There's no question that it's not the lineup that it once was. When there's no Lowell, no Drew, no Manny.
Here's a 3-1 pulled foul.
But the key very well could be, as it oftentimes is, if you go into the playoffs and you get 2 of your starting pitchers that are really on top of their game and they stay hot through the playoffs, you've got a real good chance, because great pitching is going to hold the opposition down. You don't have to score a lot of runs. Just a key hit here or there, manufacture a run once in a while. And the Dodgers did it in '88. I thought a great example. They got Oral Hershiser.
A strikeout and a throw down to second. It's a double play. Strike him out, throw him out. Lowry strikes out. Kotze's thrown out by Curtis Thigpen, who showed a great arm and got up quickly. And Richmond is out of this inning. The Marco Scutaro at the tail end of that. 3-0 Boston.
Create your own baseball collectible using your own photos. It's easy. Simply upload your photo, choose a product and design, and place your order. Choose from a wide variety of official MLB photo gift products from every Major League Baseball team. Prints, mugs, magnets, mouse pads, clocks, coasters, and more. Create a collectible you will cherish for years to come. Go to the photo store on MLB.com. In 3 easy steps, you can make your very own MLB memory. Go to the photo store on MLB.com today.
How do you want to see the game? You want to be closer? Well, this is no ordinary ticket. This is your ticket to baseball heaven in high definition. Sharp Aqua's the official HD TV of Major League Baseball. And with a blazing 4-millisecond response time and a super fast refresh.
You never know where this long and winding road that is a baseball season will take you. Who knew you'd get a late season, throw him out, strike him out, throw him out, double play with Scott Richmond on the mound, Curtis Thigpen behind the plate, and Marco Scutaro receiving out at short.
Curtis Thigpen, he has worked very hard at improving his release, footwork, and the last one was right on the money. He's really improved with his throwing.
He did a nice job catching Roy Halladay yesterday, and I bet he was pleasantly surprised to get to the ballpark and find his name in the lineup again today. As Alex Rios faces Daisuke Matsuzaka, bottom of the 4th inning, and the Red Sox up 3-0. Blue Jays with just 1 hit through the first 3. 1 ball, 1 strike.
On the occasions that I've watched Daisuke pitch, today he's had the best command that I've seen him have.
High heat popped up. Youkilis and Lowry, and they just about bumped into each other, and finally Youkilis backed off and Lowry makes the catch. Now Daisuke looks like he's got great command today. His fastball's crisp, breaking balls tight. Had tremendous success and a little good fortune to go along with that this season and going 17-2.
A lot of good fortune to average 5 2/3 innings of work per start and have the record that he has is remarkable.
Look at the opponent's batting average. Down to 214.
He's a terrific pitcher. You just wish he'd work a little quicker.
Well, since, I don't know, I'm speculating, obviously. Cito talking to home plate umpire Tim Timmons. He has sped up his pace.
You know, he hasn't done one of the things that he usually does, and that's stand out behind the mound before he climbs the hill to pitch. He hasn't been back there bouncing up and down.
He stayed, right. That's a very good point. He stayed right there on the mound, toe back to the rubber, get the sign and go.
Let's go.
Indeed.
If you're go let's go. If you're going to have the rule, you should enforce it. Otherwise, why have it?
Let's go.
Falling behind Vernon Wells, 2-0. Now he gets him to pop up. Casey with his glasses on makes the catch. You know, Daisuke with 2 out here in the 4th has given up just 1 hit. He's amongst the top 10 in wins in the American League. He's in the top 10 in earned run average, but his 156 innings pitched is the fewest of any of the top winning pitchers. He's 70 innings fewer than Halladay, 50 fewer than Cliff Lee, and that's because, as you guys have pointed out, he gets nibbling, gets his pitch count up to 100, and is out of the ball game in 5 innings.
He will probably never ever have this kind of a record again, averaging less than 6 innings of work.
It's amazing.
The stars have been aligned this season.
When you
no
go,
doubt.
That's right.
And he is one of those guys that if you do lay off of tough pitches, not just take strikes, you know I can't stand that. You lay off of tough pitches and work the count, you'll have a heck of a chance of beating him. And the Jays did that earlier in the season.
He doesn't have a decision against the Blue Jays, but the Red Sox have won both of the games that he's pitched against them.
Right.
But this is easily the best stuff he's had against Toronto this season.
His last start here, he got knocked around pretty good. And a couple of great plays behind him. It could have been worse.
1-1 pitch, line to left. Jason Bay makes the catch. Adam Lind is gone. Quick inning for Daisuke. He's given up just 1 hit through 4. Scott Richmond back to work. Blue Jays trail 3-0.
How do you want to see the game? You want to be closer? Well, this is no ordinary ticket. This is your ticket to baseball heaven in high definition. Sharp Aqua's the official HD TV of Major League Baseball. And with a blazing 4-millisecond response time and a super fast refresh rate, there isn't a shot in the hole or a streamer down the line that will singe the hair in your nostrils. It will change your baseball loving life.
Aqua's LCD TV. Change your TV, change your life. Sharp.
Are you an adrenaline junkie? At Grind TV on Yahoo Sports, you can submit your own videos or watch the pros in action. Check out the most outrageous, untamed, and awe-inspiring sports videos on the web, surfing, skateboarding, motocross, and so much more. For the sickest action sports videos, check out Grind TV on Yahoo Sports.
Jays, the Red Sox have 4. The big blow, a 2-run home run by David Ortiz in the 3rd inning. I think Scott Richmond's actually pitched pretty well here. That was just a pitch that there's not many guys can hit out of the park. High and away, and Ortiz took it opposite field for his 22nd home run of the season.
Pitch was actually off the plate just a little bit, and Ortiz just so strong he was able to hit the ball out of the ballpark, the opposite field, with not a lot behind it. Nothing more than just kind of reached out and flipped at it with his hands.
It's very true. It's not anything new for David Ortiz. I've seen him do that many a times, where he'll sit on pitches and hit it over that green monster in Boston. He drove that ball a long ways the opposite field.
Sean Casey swings at the first pitch, and if that ever comes down, he's out. Well, Scott Richmond is into his 5th inning. His longest outing is 5 2/3, and just as a precaution, Cito Gaston has lefty John Parrish, who would be a long relief middleman today, warming up. Number 9 hitter is Jason Varitek. 3 for his last 32. His value is to the pitching staff as much as anything. Two balls, no strikes.
You almost feel like when you watch Jason Varitek at times, it almost gives me the impression once in a while that the hitting, the offense for him is just secondary.
Yeah.
His job is to get the most that he can out of his pitcher, and that's where the focus seems to be oftentimes. I'm sure that's not the case for him mentally, but it almost seems that way to me once in a while.
He doesn't beat himself up if he goes 1 for 5 or 0 for 4.
He can still make a contribution.
That's right.
Popped in foul territory. Curtis Thigpen makes the catch. 2 quick outs here for Scott Richmond. He had 2 outs when he gave up the 2-run home run to Ortiz, and it looked like he'd get out of the 3rd inning. So he's back to the top of the order, and he'll now try and get Jacoby Ellsbury out for the first time in the game. Jacoby's hit a triple and a double.
Maybe throwing something other than a fastball.
He threw him one there on the outside part of the plate and gets a strike. Pop foul into the seats. And now Richmond has got him quickly 0-2. What now? Finish him off with the slider?
Would be a good call. He hasn't seen it for a strike all day.
Fastball away off the plate.
He threw a nasty one earlier in the game. If he can get on top of one, that'd be a great pitch down and in. There it is.
And he fouled it off.
Double up with that same pitch.
He's got a big league slider. Oh, he wanted that.
Another tried to double up with the slider again.
And now the count is 2-2.
He's coming inside.
Yep.
Smoke to right field. Extra bases for Ellsbury again. Rios throws the ball in, and the breaks go on for Ellsbury. He's got his second double, and he came in there a little casually, and the ball got in a hurry. But he's safe. 2 doubles and a triple for Jacoby Ellsbury. And this time he was 0-2 and fought back.
And another fastball. And he didn't miss it. Sometimes it's important to know a hitter and really understand his strengths and weaknesses. And sometimes a hitter like Ellsbury, you know, the standard rule is oftentimes you don't throw a hitter outside of a fastball 3 breaking balls in a row. But I think sometimes with Jacoby Ellsbury, you can triple up with him once in a while. He's a good fastball hitter.
Sometimes you have to throw the book out the window.
In this case, good idea. Ellsbury's now got 3 hits. He had a 12-game hitting streak going. Dustin Pedroia.
Sometimes you just have to be a little stubborn once in a while. If the guys hit the fastball hard a couple of times, just say to yourself, the next time I face him in an at-bat, he is not going to beat me with the fastball.
That's right.
One and one pitch away, ball 2. Ellsbury way off second base. Fly ball right field. And this time with 2 outs, Richmond makes sure that he leaves Ellsbury aboard. A 2-out double. And Scott Richmond stranded Jacoby Ellsbury, who's got 3 hits on the day. Will be free agents at the end of this season. You would think that the Red Sox will bring back their captain and catcher, Jason Varitek. He is eligible for free agency after the season. Some prominent names. If you're a Blue Jay fan, you're probably thinking there's no way Manny Ramirez can come here. Now you'd have to back up a Brinks truck to his house to give him enough money to get him, but he loves to play here, and he's hit more home runs and had more RBIs in this ballpark than anywhere in the big leagues. I'm not sure that he would be in the plans.
What about Jason Giambi?
But suddenly your focus has to change, as we were discussing earlier, from a hitter to pitchers.
That has to be the priority. You have to have pitching. Without the pitching, you're just not going to get there.
Right about that.
Today's pitcher is in class right now. Scott Richmond with his pitching coach, Brad Arnsberg, and it's likely his day is finished. A roller to Sean Casey. Over, base out.
If in fact Scott Richmond is finished today, I thought overall he pitched very well. 5 hits, 3 of them to Jacoby Ellsbury, and the 1 home run that was hit out of the ballpark was just a very good hitter with a tremendous amount of strength that happened to flip one out to left field. I mean, that was almost a freak type thing, if you will.
There's a strike to Scott Rowland. And based on the way Arnsberg was dealing with him and the fact that John Parrish has been up in the pen for a while, it really looks like Scott Richmond was asked to get 5 innings today, and that's it.
And here we are in the 5th inning, bottom of the 5th inning, and Matsuzaka has just thrown 68 pitches.
Remarkable.
Often at this time, he's right at that century mark.
But you wonder when you think about his past rants, why they would ever worry about a pitch count with a guy who in 1998, 10 years ago, in the Japanese high school championship, threw 250 pitches in a 17-inning game.
That's unheard of. Wow.
He had this legendary weekend, as the story goes, where he pitched 3 consecutive days. 250 pitches in a 17-inning game. The previous day, 148 pitches in a complete game shutout. And the following day was the left fielder and came in relief and finished the game off. But I guess when you invest $100 million in a pitcher, 100 pitches will be enough.
It is remarkable that he could throw that many pitches back-to-back days and not 10 years, 10 years later, still be remarkably healthy, still a tremendous amount of life in his arm.
Great life in his arm today. A 2-2 pitch is popped up in foul territory. There's a play for Casey, and he makes it. 2 away.
With a 3-run lead, Daisuke is now a lot braver out there on the mound. He's in the strike zone. He's challenging guys, and they need to be aware of that and start being more aggressive early in the count.
There's a study in concentration. Sean Casey out after that ball.
You watch him going after a pop-up. Once he starts to close in on it, the way he shuffles his feet, he looks like he's sneaking up on it a little bit.
Here's Travis Snider, the Blue Jays left fielder. He really poses an interesting question now for the Blue Jays in the offseason, because they've had a really good look at him and will continue to have a good look at him for the rest of this season. He looks like he can play in the outfield. So what do? Do you play him there? Then what do you do with Adam Lind? Does he become your DH? He's a pretty young guy for that. You don't have a position for him at first base because Overbay signed for a couple of years unless you decided to make a move there. But it makes for some interesting offseason decisions with Snider showing as much as he has in the month of September.
Some of that is going to be influenced probably by in spring training next year. Who DHs, who plays left field. Snider most certainly has shown that he's pretty athletic.
That he is. But right now he needs to pick a pitch and stay with it.
He looks a little bit long right now, or it almost looks like, Jesse, that he's not getting loaded in time. In an effort to try to stay back, he's trying to start late with the load.
He's indecisive.
Fastball away and a full count. Haven't been as many of these full counts as you usually see with Matsuzaka. Two out, nobody on. Here's Daisuke's payoff pitch to Travis Snider. He put him aboard. Blue Jays only have 1 hit. Now they have 2 walks. They just haven't had many base runners today. A chance to score in the second, but they couldn't get a runner home from third with 1 out.
And Murphy's definitely going to have to work with this young man at spring training on his footwork, working on his accuracy and throwing in spring training to help him make that transition in left field. It's a totally different angle going from left to right. Murph's a very good outfield coach. And if anyone can help him, Murph can. And that's why he's here. Murph, a fine outfielder with the Oakland Athletics back in the day.
He had the best drop step for a center fielder that I ever saw.
Sure did.
Which helps create the proper angle on the ball over your head. If it's kind of to your left, you drop that left foot back behind you instead of take a step to your left, where it can distort the angle a little bit, throw you off. Or of course the opposite with the right foot.
Say, I hit some balls in the gap and I'm thinking no way he's going to catch that ball. Next thing you know, he's running it down on the track. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Curtis Thigpen, strikeout victim number 5 for Daisuke, who has 1 hit the Blue Jays through 5, and he's keeping his pitch count manageable today as well. And he's got a 3-0 lead as John Parrish comes out of the pen.
Create your own baseball collectible using your own photos. It's easy. Simply upload your photo, choose a product and design, and place your order. Choose from a wide variety of official MLB photo gift products from every Major League Baseball team. Prints, mugs, magnets, mouse pads, clocks, coasters, and more. Create a collectible you will cherish for years to come. Go to the photo store on MLB.com. In 3 easy steps, you can make your very own MLB memory. Go to the photo store on MLB.com today.
Richmond gave the Blue Jays 5, and Parrish, the left-hander who's been a starter, could give them 2 or 3 innings in long relief if need be. Scott Richmond got his pitch count up to 83 through 5, but a pretty good outing. And you know, if he never gets a chance to do this again, at least he's had a chance to live the dream. Jose Bautista's into the ball game. He takes over from Lyle Overbay at first base.
Well, it's taken a lot of grit and determination for Scott Richmond to get to this point as a 29-year-old. And I thought overall today, with the exception of just one pitch that actually was a good one, they got hit out of the ballpark, he pitched very well this afternoon.
David Ortiz against John Parrish. Fly ball right field. Alex Rios makes the catch. Quickly one out. Well, he's got on their radar, has Scott Richmond now, so they know who he is, and when spring training comes around, at least they have an idea what he can do, who he is. He's not a stranger showing up at camp.
That's right. He can't feel too bad about today's performance, because one of the best in all of baseball in Big Papi hit that ball out to left field, and not too many guys can do that.
Kevin Youkilis walked and struck out in 2 trips here. A hard swing there, and he missed 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch. Ripped into left, and it's hooking. Foul. Just.
Boy, Youkilis did a nice job of pulling his hands in. It's a very tough pitch up and in. Ball clearly foul.
Jim Reynolds at third made that call. An 0-2 count. Parrish to Youkilis. Got him. Two away in the 6th.
Kevin Youkilis is really struggling right now with rhythm and balance. There's fastball for a strike. And you see he pulls off that pitch, then a ball in, pulls it foul, and then he pulls off another one. And you can see the rhythm, the balance, everything's off a little bit right now. Swing slow.
Parrish against Jason Bay now with 2 out in the Red Sox 6th inning. Bay's hit 2 fly balls, both against Scott Richmond.
Anybody can handle the pressure of the playoffs, he's built for it. Very low key. Pressure doesn't seem to bother him at all.
How would you pitch him?
I'd be careful, and I'd throw him breaking balls. But you better not hang one. Now, when he's looking for one, I've seen him hammer it.
So you show him the fastball, but you want to get him out with breaking balls, with off-speed stuff.
And I'd pitch him backwards. I'd throw him breaking balls and fastball counts. But he's a smart kid. He'll figure it out. And you got to believe that's what they're going to do to him in the playoffs.
Full count. Here's the 3-2 pitch. They lost him. A 2-out walk by John Parrish to Jason Bay brings Mark Kotsay to the plate.
Boy, that was very close.
Parrish thought he had him. Lefty-lefty matchup now. Check swing. Perfect timing by Rolen, and he makes the barehanded catch and the throw. Had to wait for that ball, so he knew he had to barehanded unload in a hurry as Kotsay was getting down the line. A nice play by the third baseman. 3-0 for the Red Sox.
How do you want to see the game? You want to be closer? Well, this is no ordinary ticket. This is your ticket to baseball heaven in high definition. Sharp Aqua's the official HD TV of Major League Baseball. And with a blazing 4-millisecond response time and a super fast refresh rate, there isn't a shot in the hole or a screamer down the line that will singe the hair in your nostrils. It will change your baseball loving life.
Aqua's LCD TV. Change your TV, change your life. Sharp.
Are you an adrenaline junkie? At Grind TV on Yahoo Sports, you can submit your own videos or watch the pros in action. Check out the most outrageous, untamed, and awe-inspiring sports videos on the web, surfing, skateboarding, motocross, and so much more. For the sickest action sports videos, check out Grind TV on Yahoo Sports.
They have a 3-0 lead here to the bottom of the 6th inning. And they have a 3-0 lead largely because of Jacoby Ellsbury at the top of the order. In the first, third, and fifth innings, he's had extra bases, a leadoff triple against Scott Richmond. He was delivered by a sacrifice fly from Dustin Pedroia. A double in the third off the outstretched arm of Vernon Wells, and he scored on a home run. And then a double in the fifth, and finally the Blue Jays were able to strand him. Meantime, David Ortiz in the third inning with 2 out on a 3-2 pitch took Scott Richmond opposite field. And that home run gets him to 87 RBIs and got the Red Sox to a 3-0 lead. Ellsbury's speed has been on display today on the base paths and in the outfield. There's Joe England with a 7-game hitting streak on the line. He's 0 for 2 today. He's had a terrific season, and if he can keep it up for this next week, he'll finish with a 300 average, and that's pretty good, and it'll be roughly 350, 375 at-bats.
Well, that's something to hang your hat on there, especially at the major league level.
But he and the Blue Jays and the fans will be wondering what's to become of Joe England. If you assume that Aaron Hill is healthy, he's the second baseman. England doesn't play short.
It's a good problem to have.
He's definitely taken advantage of opportunity and proven that he can play here at the major league level. A good, solid player.
He's hit the ball into left field, and it's foul just. He's done a great job at second base. He's been a pretty good leadoff man, getting better at that as this season has gone on. I don't think the Blue Jays are interested in having him be the second baseman and Aaron Hill moving to short. So Aaron Hill will be the second baseman. Who's the shortstop? Will it be Marco Scutaro, John McDonald? And then you wonder where Joe Inglet fits in. He and Scutaro combined at the top of the order have had 300 at-bats at the leadoff position, with a .352 on-base percentage between them, and that is above the league average, which is .347. Ellsbury closes on it, knocks the ball down, couldn't make the catch, and the hitting streak is alive for Joe Inglet. A leadoff double in the 6th, and he's hit in 8 straight games.
And there Joe is, taking a pitch up and away, staying on it, driving through the ball, hustling all the way. And there's the speed of the Boston center fielder Jacoby Ellsbury. Almost made a tremendous catch, but Super Joe gets a double.
In some ways, Joe Inglet's career runs along the lines of former left fielder here, who is now in Chicago, Reed Johnson. The guy has had to scrap and claw for everything that he's gotten. And both of them, when opportunity presented itself, took advantage of it.
That's right. You know, I'm chuckling because Gene Tennis, I can see him in the dugout. When Joe comes in, he'll look at him, way to hustle, cuz. He's very proud of his players, I'll tell you. And he has a right to be. His hitters have done a great job since he's been here.
Now Matsuzaka to Marco Scutaro. That's just the second hit off Daisuke today. Both doubles, one by Vernon Wells in the 2nd, and now Inglet's double here to lead off the 6th. And Joe's not likely to have to go back to framing houses in Sacramento this winter.
No, I don't think so.
He'll be on the radar for somebody, even if it's not here. Scutaro takes the ball the other way, and a great catch by Kotze in right. And Inglet, sensing that ball might be caught, didn't get caught anywhere off second base. And in this game of inches, was inches from extra bases and a run scored.
Marco Scutaro hits the ball off the end of his bat, and it was dying quickly, but Kotze, a former center fielder, great jump to track it down.
And Joe checking the outfielders as you're supposed to do. He got a great read on that. Did not get doubled up.
In this series between Boston and Toronto this weekend, we've seen some play in the outfield that is second to none in Major League Baseball. We've seen Vernon Wells put on a clinic this weekend. Rios in right. Ellsbury covers miles in center field for the Red Sox.
Well, you've seen so many base runners get doubled up on that play. That was a good read by Inglet. That would have been a Cardinal sin. A Blue Jay sin.
Daisuke in the 6th inning, now getting up towards 100 pitches. He's over 90 now. So the Red Sox have action in the bullpen. Counts 0-2 to Alex Rios, and he's popped up. Euclid, the third baseman, makes the catch, 2 away. In the 2nd inning, the Blue Jays got a runner on third base with just 1 out, and they couldn't get Wells home. Here they've got a leadoff double standing out at second base and haven't been able to move him along, and there are 2 outs now.
If they have any hopes of getting back in this game or even winning it, they need to get this guy in, even with 2 outs. They need to find a way to get Joe in from second base.
Haven't been able to move him along, so you might as well just hit 1 out.
That would be nice.
Go for the old 2-for-1 sale.
Yes. Vernon Wells hasn't had a terrific homestand here. He's 4 for 19. One hit today, though. That a double in the second. Daisuke checks Inglet leading off second base and delivers. And Wells hits it right back to him. And the Blue Jays squander the leadoff double and leave another runner aboard. They'll head for the 7th inning with the Boston Red Sox ahead of the Jays 3-0. A passive Scott Rowland sits beside the pitchers on the bench. He's come out of the ball game. Cito Gaston had taken Lyle Overbay out earlier. Now Jose Bautista, who was in for Overbay at first, moves over to third. And the new first baseman is Brad Wilkerson. Red Sox 7th inning. John Parrish, the second Blue Jay pitcher on the mound in relief of Scott Richmond. And a 3-0 lead for the Red Sox, who are trying to win this series. Jed Lowry gets to turn around and bat right-handed.
His strong side much better from the right side than the left at 373. Just 229 from the left side.
Pulls a ground ball to Bautista. Good hard throw across the infield to Wilkerson. One away. First baseman Sean Casey is up with 1 out in the 7th inning. Casey today hit a fly ball to right and popped out to third baseman Scott Rowland. Inside, ball 1 from John Parrish.
Kind of a subdued crowd today. Not very enthusiastic.
There really hasn't been a lot to cheer about if you're a Jays fan here this afternoon.
They need to start the old wave, maybe.
Compared to most days when the Blue Jays play the Red Sox, it's a bit like a library. The attendance today is 38,814, and so the average for the season in the games played by the Blue Jays and the Red Sox, 39,900 plus. Lots of Red Sox fans come in for these ball games.
Red Sox fans, some of the nicest people you're going to meet.
Because they've won 2 World Series in the last 4 years. They were miserable before that.
Yeah, that helps a little.
Takes the edge off, doesn't it?
They seldom arrive without Red Sox apparel. Two pitch to Casey is low and away, 3-2. John Parrish has been a starter, spot starter, and worked out of the pen for the Blue Jays this season. He could figure in both roles next season. They have an abundance of pitchers in the pen. The 3-2 pitch is pulled foul.
There's a young Red Sox fan.
They get him hooked early in Boston.
I wonder if that pacifier has a B on it as well.
It looks like it.
Three-two in on the hands of Casey, and he popped him up. Joe England makes the catch. Parrish has 2 away. Another switch hitter, Jason Varitek, up against John Parrish now, and Varitek gets to turn around and hit right-handed. Well, even for the Boston Red Sox at the plate today, there hasn't been an awful lot of action, unless Jacoby Ellsbury's been up. They built a 3-0 lead in the first 3 innings. A 2-out, 2-run home run by David Ortiz got them ahead 3-0, and they haven't had much since then.
You're right. Besides the home run from Big Papi, the single by Kotsay hadn't been a whole lot.
So there's a reason why it's a bit sedate here at the ballpark at this point. This game awaits an eruption. There's a hard hit ball by Varitek, and it's off the wall. Snyder knew it, played it well, and holds Jason Varitek to a single. He hit the ball so hard he can only get a base.
They almost had an eruption there.
Just a little higher, and that's a line drive out of the park.
Ball hit very hard and well played by Snyder off the wall to hold Varitek to just a long single. Varitek, like Lowry, much stronger from the right side.
It was a good play. Snyder figured out right away it was going to be over his head and off the wall, so he positioned himself perfectly to get it. And here's Jacoby Ellsbury. 2 doubles and a triple today. Two and 0 from Parrish.
Got to figure they're going to keep the ball away here.
Yeah, John Parrish and Curtis Thigpen have seen enough of Jacoby Ellsbury on the base paths today.
And a very important hitter for Parrish to get out of this inning. You don't want the matchup. The lefty Parrish pitching to Pedroia with a couple of boards.
But he's behind him 2-1. Varitek leading off first.
Earlier in the season, we did a Boston Red Sox game, and Ellsbury ran into the fence, and he said had he not had his sunglasses on, he probably would have put his eye out in that collision.
3-1 pitch. He pulled that hard.
He said he lost the contact, and his eye hit exactly in the right spot, or the wrong spot, if you will, inside the fence. Broke his sunglasses, and he hit that fence on a full sprint.
Did he ever? Hit the screen, and he hit the ball high in the air here. Bautista makes the catch. That's a nice inning, and a big out for John Parrish, who gave up a single, but he left one aboard. Time for the 7th inning stretch at the Rogers Center with the Red Sox up 3-0.
How do you want to see the game? You want to be closer? Well, this is no ordinary ticket. This is your ticket to baseball heaven in high definition. Sharp Aqua's the official HD TV of Major League Baseball. And with a blazing 4-millisecond response time and a super fast refresh rate, there isn't a shot in the hole or a screamer down the line that will singe the hair in your nostrils. It will change your baseball-loving life.
Aqua's LCD TV. Change your TV, change your life. Sharp.
Are you an adrenaline junkie? At Grind TV on Yahoo Sports, you can submit your own videos or watch the pros in action. Check out the most outrageous, untamed, and awe-inspiring sports videos on the web, surfing, skateboarding, motocross, and so much more. For the sickest action sports videos, check out Grind TV on Yahoo Sports.
To be kidding me. It is usual Red Sox defensive switch late in the game with a 3-0 lead. Jed Lowry moves from short to third. Alex Cora comes in as the shortstop, and Kevin Youkilis moves from third back over to first base. And Daisuke Matsuzaka is back out on the mound. First pitch swinging is Adam Lind, and he's fouled the ball into the seats. This is only the 6th time in 28 starts for Matsuzaka that he's pitched into the 7th inning.
You sound surprised, Jim.
Well, you know, it's been automatic that he's at 100 pitches after 5 and he's gone, and he just hasn't used as many pitches. He's worked a little bit quicker today. Maybe the success will speed him up all the time. Pitch got away, ball and a strike. But he's been very good today, looking for his 18th win. 2 hit the Blue Jays through 6. He's now at 96 pitches. And his most this season is 118.
And he has been very tough on the man at the plate, Adam Lind. Yet to, in his short career, get a base hit off of Daisuke.
Well, that was very close.
It was 3-1. Just off the plate outside. So a real hitter's count here. For Adam Lind.
Clearly outside.
Got it up, and Lind hit it out, foul. 3-2.
Adam Lind quite possibly their chased ball 4. And that's what the Jays need at this point, a base runner anyway, anyhow. If he stays patient there, might have been aboard with the walk.
He sure did. And not only that, but you see when he's up there batting, he's wiggling the bat, and that's fine. But there has to be a quiet period before that pitcher starts to deliver. He's still wiggling. And that slows you down, and that's one of the reasons why he's late. He needs to stop the wiggling when Daisuke starts his delivery. That way he can get his timing down a lot better. I don't mind that, but when that pitcher starts his windup, you better make sure you get everything set. You only have less than a half a second. From the time that ball leaves that pitcher's hand, it gets to that hitting area, so you better get it ready.
He has hit the ball hard twice today. His first at bat, the one-hop line drive. Nice play by the second baseman, Pedroia. And then he's lined out to the left fielder, Jason Bay. He's hit into a little bit of tough luck here this afternoon.
So he's still wiggling.
And he's going to wiggle all the way back to the dugout now.
Yep.
Between his wiggling and Daisuke's nibbling, it was like a fishing tournament. One away in the Blue Jays' 7th. Here's Jose Bautista in Lyle Overbay's spot.
Perfectly placed fastball.
Never give in.
Six strikeouts and just 2 hits surrendered for Daisuke. He seems incredibly mentally sound and strong, and I suppose you have to be to pitch the way he does.
You do.
Has great discipline too. It takes a lot of discipline at times to not just get a little frustrated and try to challenge a hitter and get burnt. But he throws every pitch with the intention of it being exactly where he wants it. And even when he gets 2-1 right here in a 3-0 game, you're not likely going to get a challenge fastball.
Hard hit ball to center. Ellsbury tracks it down and makes a nice play in center. That's just allowed out. But one of the hardest hit balls for the Blue Jays today.
Looked like a little slider that was up just a little bit, hit very hard by Bautista.
There's Brad Wilkerson for the first time today in Scott Rowland's spot. Terry Francona would, I'm quite sure, love Matsuzaka to make short work of Wilkerson and call it a day. Strike 1-1 to Wilkerson.
Well, when Daisuke misses on the first pitch, he's coming right back with a strike. It's a lot sharper than he was earlier in the game.
Blown inside, 2 balls and a strike.
Just very, very seldom does he ever miss in the middle of the plate. He's either on one corner or the other, or just off of it.
And he definitely likes to elevate with 2 strikes.
Wilkerson goes the other way, but it's a fly ball that's playable for Jason Bay. He stayed with it as it tailed away from him, made the catch, and heads for the dugout. 3 up and 3 down from Matsuzaka in the 7th, who's 2 hit the Blue Jays through 7 and is probably leaving with a 3-0 lead.
Are you an adrenaline junkie? At Grind TV on Yahoo Sports, you can submit your own videos or watch the pros in action. Check out the most outrageous, untamed, and awe-inspiring sports videos on the web, surfing, skateboarding, motocross, and so much more. For the sickest action sports videos, check out Grind TV on Yahoo Sports.
Jacoby Ellsbury has 2 doubles and a triple, and he scored 2 runs. David Ortiz hit a 2-run home run in the 3rd inning with 2 out and a 3-2 count on him off Scott Richmond, opposite field. And that's provided the Edge a 3-0 lead, and Daisuke Matsuzaka has been outstanding today. 7 innings of 2-hit ball, 6 strikeouts and 2 walks, and over 100 pitches now, and he'll turn it over to the bullpen, and he's in pretty good shape for his 18th victory of the season. And the Blue Jays will make a change out on the mound. Their 3rd pitcher of the day will be right-hander Brian Wolf, who follows Scott Richmond and John Parrish.
Daisuke was very stingy today. He righted the ship when he needed to. He got a big blow from Big Papi when he needed it.
And he looks playoff ready, doesn't he?
Without a doubt, he does.
Wolf will wade right into the heart of the Red Sox order here. Dustin Pedroia, David Ortiz, and Kevin Youkilis. Wolf is one of the pitchers like John Parrish before him and Scott Richmond, who came into this ballgame having not pitched since August, who became forgotten men when the Blue Jays were streaking. They won 10 in a row and they got back into contention, and they had definite pitchers that were used in winning situations. There's a ball down the line, and it's a fair ball. Gets by Bautista. Pedroia digging hard, and he'll ease into second base now with a leadoff double in the 8th.
The last couple of days are in this series. The Blue Jays have done a nice job of slowing Pedroia down because they've kept the ball away from him consistently well. And you just don't go there with Pedroia. He's constantly looking hard, middle in, doesn't matter if it's up or down. And they tried to get one in on his hands. And that's playing with fire with Pedroia.
And you're absolutely right. And particularly early in the count, he really looks in middle in. And when he has to go the other way, he does.
Well, they'd paid attention and pitched him very well. Coming into this game, he was hitting 197 against Toronto pitching this season. David Ortiz against Scott Richmond in the 3rd inning. Just out of the park.
It was just a great piece of hitting. Yes, he's strong, but it takes know-how and it takes smarts to sit back with 2 strikes on a changeup and go the other way.
Pulled the ball foul.
Yeah, the pitch prior was a 3-1 changeup. Maybe he just decided they're not going to get me out with that one.
A lot of times when you're playing with house money like Big Papi, you can sit back, you say, well, he threw one 3-1. He's going to throw it 3-2. If I'm fooled with a fastball, so what?
Wolf's got Big Papi 0-2, and David Ortiz wants time. How big is his bat, Jesse? How heavy?
It's about a 32-ounce bat. It's not very big. The one he uses in batting practice is a little bit heavier. The one he uses in a game He had to carve out the tip a little bit because of the wrist injury. It's a little bit lighter.
The 0-2. What's the heaviest bat you used? You're a big man.
34.5, 32. 32 ounce.
Rance?
34-31.
A lot of guys have strayed away from the big bats.
He's popped up. Marco Scutaro makes the catch. There's the first out. Hard to imagine then that Babe Ruth was a .342 career hitter and had 714 home runs with a 58-ounce bat.
Swung a wagon tongue, didn't he?
Yeah, the guys now just use the lightweight ones. A 58-ounce bat. There's a story too about Hack Wilson from the Cubs in the 20s, who said he used a 65-ounce bat and hit .352 one season with 20 home runs. Pedroia headed for third, and he's safely there.
It's just a situation where they completely forgot about Pedroia at second base. They didn't give him a look. He took advantage of it. There's a great angle of it right here, and he just flies it, times it perfectly. He doesn't run a lot, but that's his 19th stolen base of the season, and he's been caught just one time.
Just a smart ball player. Gets the most out of his ability. And like I've said from time to time, he's going to get some most valuable player votes.
That went as far as the ball. Bautista caught it. Youkilis is out. He's got an 0 for 3 day as he sits down, and there are 2 outs, and Pedroia at third base.
The swing has been a little long all day. And this one just ran in on his hands and sawed him off. Bautista kind of caught that, like, you know, you've seen those egg contests where you toss them to one another and you keep increasing the distance and you try to catch it real soft.
No, you didn't.
That's about what he looked like.
No, you didn't.
But he was trying to make the catch and at the same time keep an eye on the barrel of that bat that was hurtling towards him.
He just kind of cradled it in there.
Very smooth.
A little soft line drive.
Two 2-0. Brian Wolf to Jason Bay. Jason's had a quiet afternoon.
Although he hasn't had a base hit, it looks like he's seeing the ball very well. Laying off of pitches down, off the plate, away, not biting on pitches out of the zone. That's a good sign for Bay.
That's a 2-1 count on Jason Bay.
But he, as you mentioned earlier, Jesse, looks like the type of hitter. He does prefer the fastball middle in.
He does.
He like Pedroia. Ball's middle in and it's hard. If they swing at it, it's like they don't miss it very often. They usually put it in play hard.
Yes, they do. And they have the ability to go opposite field, right, center, down the line when they need to, but their strength is pull.
Wolf's 2-2 pitch. Fouled away.
And Wolf typically is very, very tough on right-handed hitters. He's good hard breaking ball and slider and a real good sinker, heavy sink that bores in on the hands, such as the pitch to Kevin Youkilis.
Another broken bat and a ground ball for Scutaro, and a nice stretch by Brad Wilkerson. And Brian Wolf gets out of the 8th and strands Pedroia at third base. To the bottom of the 8th, the Blue Jays need some runs.
Create your own baseball collectible using your own photos. It's easy. Simply upload your photo, choose a product and design, and place your order. Choose from a wide variety of official MLB photo gift products from every Major League Baseball team. Prints, mugs, magnets, mouse pads, clocks, coasters, and more. Create a collectible you will cherish for years to come. Go to the photo store on MLB.com. In 3 easy steps, you can make your very own MLB memory. Go to the photo store on MLB.com today.
It's almost time. Training camps are underway. Played the first exhibition games in the NHL last night. Saturday, October 4th, the season begins in Prague and Stockholm. And CBC's Hockey Night in Canada will be there to bring you all of the action. And then we'll be around for opening night, October the 9th, with a doubleheader. Hideki Okajima follows Daisuke Matsuzaka. The left-hander will face the Blue Jays left-handed hitting rookie Travis Snider. Bottom of the 8th inning, 3-0 the Red Sox lead. Second time this season that Daisuke has had that kind of line against the Blue Jays, once in a no decision very early in the season, but this is the best he's looked in a month and a half.
Thought his control today was very, very good. It's the best I've ever seen him command-wise, being able to hit his spots.
Snider hits a ground ball to Dustin Pedroia and is thrown out, one away.
Like I said earlier, I thought he got a lot braver, Daisuke that is, when he got a 3-run lead. When it was a 1-run lead, he was nibbling.
Snyder's gone 0 for 2 with a walk today. Curtis Thigpen is up. Strike one from the lefty Okajima. Right-handed batters hitting .248 against this left-handed pitcher.
Okajima, his best pitch probably to a right-handed hitter is his changeup. He has a very good one with some late movement down and away from a right-handed hitter. And he mixes it up well. He'll pitch inside just enough to keep you honest, keep you from leaning.
Someone asked me about his funky delivery. Should that bother you that he's looking not at his target? Why should it bother you? Because you're not looking at his face. You're looking at where he's throwing the ball from. If you're looking at his face by the time he delivers the ball, you're looking at the wrong thing anyway. Very, very awkward.
And now Curtis Thigpen has got himself back to a count where in all likelihood he should get a fastball here to hit.
He went after it and fouled it off, and the count is full.
Okajima turned it over on him. Took a little bit off.
Terry Francona and the Red Sox have a magic number that could get them into the playoffs today. If they hang on to this victory, the Yankees lose tonight in their final home game at Yankee Stadium. Tampa and Boston will be in. It still needs to be determined which will be the wild card, and the Rays have an advantage there. 2 away and back to the top of the order.
3-2. Okajima going with a changeup. A lot of confidence in his ability to get it close enough to the plate, get the hitter to chase it. And that's some of that might have been brought on by the fact that Jason Varitek knows he's pitching to a very young hitter. 3-2, most certainly looking fastball. Go something soft, get it close enough. He'll swing at it.
I think you hit it right on the head, Rance. That's more the savvy of a veteran catcher like Jason Varitek. He's a very smart catcher.
This is the situation that Okajima pitches most in, the lefty against lefty confrontation. Left-handed hitters have a tough time with him there. Collectively under 200. There's a soft liner to Pedroia. And Okajima out of the pen does a nice job. He gets the Blue Jays in order in the bottom of the 8th. We'll head for the 9th inning with the Red Sox ahead of the Blue Jays 3-0.
Create your own baseball collectible using your own photos. It's easy. Simply upload your photo, choose a product and design, and place your order. Choose from a wide variety of official MLB photo gift products from every Major League Baseball team. Prints, mugs, magnets, mouse pads, clocks, coasters, and more. Create a collectible you will cherish for years to come. Go to the photo store on MLB.com. In 3 easy steps, you can make your very own MLB memory. Go to the photo store on MLB.com today.
There's a lot of the pitchers who haven't had an awful lot of work in the last month go to work against the Red Sox here today in the final game of this 3-game series. With the season winding down, the Red Sox in a position where they can clinch a playoff spot today. The Blue Jays just playing out the string now with the Yankees in for 3. Still something to play for in a couple of individual accomplishments. A.J. Burnett still has a shot at 20 wins. So does Roy Halladay, and that'll be an interesting start on Thursday here against the Yankees. And then a trip to Baltimore, and then it's all over, and the season of decision arrives for the Blue Jays. And there's a lot now to be dealt with in the offseason. We spoke about their pitching problems now with Markham and McGowan, and who knows what's going to happen to A.J. Burnett. J.P. Ricciardi is under contract for the next couple of seasons, but the rumors abound that he won't be back. Cito Gaston will most assuredly be the manager.
It will be it most certainly will be an interesting offseason.
President of the team, Paul Godfrey, has to make his decision on what he's going to do, and that probably needs to be made right away so that the next decisions down the line can be made, and then the Blue Jays can get on with the business of dealing with the players.
I think Paul Godfrey has stated that he is going to make his decision very quickly at the end of the season, so that everything else, as you mentioned, Jim, can fall into place. Because if there's going to be a number of changes, you need to get that done right away so that everything is finished and over with or in place at the end of the playoffs, the World Series.
Absolutely. So the president's decision affects the general manager, because the new president, if there was one, might not want the general manager, just as general managers make the decision about the manager. So you got to get all of that done so that there's a direction and no indecision when it comes time for trades and free agency.
All starts at the top, that's for sure.
It's, before you know it, the winter meetings will be here. And when a new group comes in, there's a lot of decision making. If that happens, there's going to be a lot of decisions that they're going to have to, sit down and come to a conclusion on very quickly. Who are we going to pursue in the free agent market? Who maybe we'll try to trade for?
Yeah. So if everything is going to be the status quo, that in itself is a decision that needs to be made right away and cleared right up.
My gut feeling, I think Paul wants to be a part of this, because we have here in Toronto the making of a pretty darn good ball club. I think there's a few pieces of the puzzle missing now. I think the corner pieces are in place. They have the right coaching staff in place, and this could be a good situation with the right fit, the right pieces of puzzle. When I say the right pieces of puzzle, the players, the pitchers, what you do with the free agent market, the injured players coming back. It could be an exciting season next year. And I'd love to see what these guys can do with a full year under Cito Gaston.
Well, you're going to get a chance to see it. Here's the 1-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jed Lowry.
Aside from the obvious, which we've talked about, which is starting pitching, I think one of the real hard questions they have to ask themselves is, do we need to go out and get a veteran bat with power that can drive in runs, hit the ball out of the ballpark as a DH?
Or the other part of that discussion will be, have we got enough if we assume that Wells and Rios will have full seasons the way we expect them to, and that Scott Rowland's health is better? There's some interesting meetings that we'd all love to be in on.
And is Travis Snyder really ready?
Yeah. And if you decide that you have to pursue trades, and as we discussed earlier, you have to be prepared to give up some quality to get quality. So the next part of the discussion is, who would you give up? Who would you be willing to trade? Who has a contract that's tradable? If you had to go out and get a star pitcher, would you be willing to make a trade and move Alex Rios if you had to get a young star pitcher?
That's a very good question.
But they're all things that I'm sure are already being discussed in that forum, but they become very important as the season winds down. And the whole discussion has changed again since Sean Markham got hurt, because the importance of pitching has been front and center once again. 3 up and 3 down. Good inning of work for Brian Talent, and the Blue Jays have their last at bat against the Red Sox coming up.
Create your own baseball collectible using your own photos. It's easy. Simply upload your photo, choose a product and design, and place your order. Choose from a wide variety of official MLB photo gift products from every Major League Baseball team. Prints, mugs, magnets, mouse pads, clocks, coasters, and more. Create a collectible you will cherish for years to come. Go to the photo store on MLB.com. In 3 easy steps, you can make your very own MLB memory. Go to the photo store on MLB.com today.
How do you want to see the game? You want to be closer? Well, this is no ordinary ticket. This is your ticket to baseball heaven in high definition. Sharp Aqua's the official HD TV of Major League Baseball. And with a blazing 4-millisecond response time and a super fast refresh rate, there isn't a shot in the hole or a streamer down the line that will singe the hair in your nostrils. It will change your baseball-loving life.
Aqua's LCD TV. Change your TV, change your life. Sharp.
A little bit tired, didn't have as much zip on his fastball, but he didn't pitch from last Sunday through till Friday night. And there seemed to be a little more life in his arm. The Red Sox would have to be concerned if he started to get knocked around late in the season and wasn't pitching the ball up at 96, 97.
The velocity was a little bit better on Friday night. But maybe more important than that was he made a lot of good pitches to both sides of the plate with his fastball. He located well with it. And that was something that was definitely missing last Sunday in Boston.
Speaking of missing, for him, the key is going to be whether or not he's going to get that split finger pitch over the plate, or at least get it to where it's close to where the hitters have to bite or at least come close to swinging at it. Because if he's bouncing it in the dirt, they don't have to look for it. His fastball is going to be very inviting to attack. But if he's getting that split finger in an area where the guys have to respect it, he's going to be tough.
And another key when you're approaching Papelbon is be aggressive with the fastball right from the get-go. Don't let him get ahead with it so that he can really go to work on you.
That's right. Jump him early.
As the Blue Jays did and were very aggressive against him last Sunday in Boston. Marco Scutaro to lead off the Blue Jays' ninth. Inside ball one. Scutaro 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts.
In this situation, down 3, might be asking Marco Scutaro to take a strike, or he may decide to do that on his own.
One and one, and Papelbon is in the low 90s.
And that was something, one of the few managers that, maybe the only manager that I ever played for, that didn't like taking that strike much, just for the purpose of, maybe giving a pitcher a chance to get a little bit wild, was Bobby Cox. Bobby, remember that? Bobby used to always say,
yes.
No, we're not taking. Down 3-0 in the ninth, we're swinging. You get a good pitch to hit, let it go.
Set up away, the 2-1 pitch, hit on the ground. Cora throws out Scutaro. 1 away. Cito Gaston and the Blue Jays with just 2 hits today. A double by Vernon Wells, a double by Joe Inglet, both off Daisuke Matsuzaka. Alex Rios 0 for 3 facing Jonathan Papelbon.
Jonathan asking for trouble by starting these guys out, not throwing strikes.
A 1-0 to Rios. Starts him 2-0. Now 3-0 to Alex Rios. Jonathan Papelbon. 39 saves is a career high, and 40 is a nice number that he can get to today. And if the Orioles were to beat the Yankees tonight, the Red Sox would be in the playoffs.
Well, that was a generous high strike. Got to remember, Rios was in a low crouch.
That's a nice pitch, and it's a full count. Right on the outside part of the plate, right into the catcher's glove where he had it set up. And the count is full with 1 out. Three-two pitch is hit on the ground. Jed Lowry, the third baseman. Good stretch by Youkilis. And he gets Rios, and the Blue Jays are down to their final out. So as Rios sits down, it is Vernon Wells to face Jonathan Papelbon. And if he can finish off Vernon Wells, the season series between these two teams in 18 games will finish all even at 9 wins apiece. He took a strike.
Most good closers, and Papelbon one of the best in the game, they are not going to pitch themselves into trouble with the base on balls. Now they may be a little bit wild at times and not locate as well as they'd like to, but very, very rarely are they going to, by walking a hitter or two, get themselves in a jam situation. One of the reasons they're so successful is because they can command overpowering stuff. That so often goes overlooked. You think of Mariano Rivera, you can watch him come into a ball game and he won't miss his, he'll throw 12, 15 pitches and not miss his spot.
That's right. And that's the reason why he's going to be in Cooperstown.
Ball and a strike. And the Blue Jays won't go quietly for Papelbon. It's a base hit for Wells. Only the third hit of the afternoon for Toronto. And Wells has 2 of them. So now Papelbon will try and finish this off by getting Adam Lind.
But Jesse made a very good point right at the start of this inning about the split finger. Starts Wells with a fastball, call strike. He was clearly taking, then tried to throw a splitter. It was in the dirt, not even close. Comes back with the fastball, gets hit hard back into center field. Where if he throws that splitty for a strike, it completely changes that at bat altogether.
That's right.
Fastball, foul ball. And strike 1 to Adam Lind.
Adam just a little bit behind. Needs to get that barrel out front just a little bit.
So your point being then that if he can't command that split finger pitch, then you know that he's going to come at you with a fastball and you can sit on it.
You can definitely sit on the fastball, but he's good enough that he's able to get by with just that fastball at times because he does locate it very, very well. And if you make quality pitches, even with just that one pitch, you'll be fine. But if you can throw that one for a strike or get it close enough, like Jesse said, that you can get hitters to chase it, and now they have to start staying back just that little extra so that they don't chase the good splitty that starts in the strike zone and out of it, then that fastball even becomes just that much more effective.
Wells allowed to run down to second base. The Red Sox don't care much about his run. A 3-0 lead. A 1-1 count with 2 out. High fly ball left field. Jason Bay makes the catch, and that's the ball game. Jonathan Papelbon has his 40th save of the season. The Red Sox are a Yankee loss or another win at home for them from clinching a playoff berth. They've taken care of business today and defeated the Blue Jays with a great pitching performance all around from Matsuzaka, Okajima, and Papelbon in a 3-0 victory.
Well, Daisuke was the best that I've seen him command-wise. He was outstanding. The bullpen did their job, and big swing by that man right there gave him 2. That made it 3-0, and they were in complete control from that point on.
That was a big pop, all right. An opposite field 2-run home run with 2 out in the 3rd inning. Red Sox had a 3-0 lead, and there was no scoring the rest of the way. Jacoby Ellsbury with 2 doubles and a triple. The Red Sox and the Blue Jays finish an 18-game season series with 9 wins apiece. And the final score this afternoon, 3-0 for the Red Sox on CBC.